And everybody, welcome to another edition of Maryland's Cafe Society radio show on YouTube on this Saturday, the 9th day of February 2019. And how are you? I'm a little flustered. That's right. It's been a busy week. I had a highlight this week, but I also was kind of bummed out. You know how that can happen? I was feeling kind of bummed out about a couple of different things that were going on, and then something like winning the lottery happened to me. Well, no, I didn't win the lottery, but I had a nice little thing happen, and it kind of lifted me in midweek. And so it's been a struggle, and maybe it's the cold weather. I don't know. But anyway, I'm here a little late in the show, but nevertheless, we're here, of course, bringing another edition of the show. Again, it's going to be short because I have to work, and so I'm just popping in for a bit, all right? So, how was your week? I hope you had a pretty good week. I hope many of you survived the frigid temperatures, the Arctic blast that we all experienced. It seemed to come out of nowhere. It was cold and then it warmed up, and now it is cold again. But, it's wintertime. So, what do we expect here in the Chicagoland area? All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some on this day in history. This is interesting. On this day in history, in recent history, in 1995, Bernard Harris became the first African American to take a spacewalk during the second of his space flights. Now, on this mission, he logged in 198 hours, 20 minutes in space. He completed 129 orbits and traveled over 2.9 million miles. So kudos to Bernard Harris on all that he accomplished and contributed to society. All right, and speaking of Black history, listen, as I was kind of prepping for the show last night, I stumbled upon a television series, a new television series that aired on BET. It's called American Soul, and it actually airs on Tuesday nights, but I guess they did a rerun or something last night. I was just flipping through the channels, kind of taking a break from reading, and there it was. And I remember reading about this some months ago and, of course, seeing some promos, but due to my schedule, I just had not been able to see it. And I think it's fairly new. I think maybe in the last week or two it premiered. But anyway, it's going to be a weekly series, again, airing on BET on Tuesday nights. So listen, this show was very interesting. I took some notes down. It's based on the life of Don Cornelius, who was the founder of the Soul Train music dance show that broadcasted on national television from 1971 through 2006. That's some 35 years, people. And it became the longest running syndicated program in American television history. Of course, Don Cornelius was a Chicago radio announcer and the host and founder of Soul Train, which had the tagline, the hippest trip in America. You remember that. And of course, they gave us the dancers every week where, that's where you tuned in to learn all of the latest and new dances. And also the iconic Soul Train line. You see that Soul Train line at parties, at weddings. It's everywhere. And so it's all because of this show. Now, of course, it initially aired in 1970 on Chicago television station WCIU TV. And I remember being a kid growing up in Bronzeville, like, maybe 8, 9 years old. And there were teenagers and young adults in the neighborhood who would go and be on the show. Of course, WCIU TV was situated on Halsted, 26 North Halsted in Chicago. And so they would jump on the bus or the L, and, they would spend the whole day before and night practicing and getting their outfits together. And I just remember having an opportunity to catch them on television and sometimes seeing some of those people on TV dancing. And of course, he would introduce current and new talent in terms of music performances, musicians. and entertainers would be on the show as well. Anyway, this American Soul show, of course, delved into the show business side of putting the show together, the good, the bad, the ugly, and they even gave us some juicy behind the scenes plots of some of the more popular dancers that appeared, some of the musical groups and talents that appeared on the show. So I think they knocked it out the park with this one, and I can't wait to catch the next episode. So again, that's on Tuesday nights on BET, and I guess throughout the week they rerun it. I just happened to catch it on a Friday night, so you have to check your local listings to find out when you can catch it. And by the way, Kelly Rowland of Destiny's Child is playing in that TV series as Gladys Knight, and she's doing an awesome job. So I can't wait to see what's going to be next on that. Just a mention, since we're talking about history, and of course, Soul Train is a plays a major had a major influence in African American culture during its run. All right, let's delve into some business news just real quickly here. I heard this on the news broadcast on yesterday, and of course, I just kind of plucked it from the papers. But Chicago is getting some more attention from Amazon. Potentially, they could end up with another headquarters there, so we'll be watching to see what happens with that. But they're also going to get a turbo boost from the Ford Motor Company. Ford is going to invest $1 billion into their two plants here in the Chicagoland area. Of course, one being the Torrance Avenue plant, and the other one is the stamping plant that I believe is in Chicago Heights. They're going to, of course, invest in the facility in general, making it a better workplace and work experience for their employees. And then they're going to add some, 500 more jobs to the community. So that's a good thing. Now, the Torrance Avenue plant is going to produce the all-new Ford Explorer, the Police Interceptor utility, as well as the Lincoln Navigator. No, not the Navigator, the Aviator. Remember, they got rid of the Aviator some years ago, maybe 10 years ago. So they're bringing it back, and I can't wait because I liked that particular Ford car. So we'll see what it looks like when they make that happen. But yeah, so that's good news for the Chicagoland area. Now, for years, the Ford Taurus was made there, but they announced maybe last spring that they were going to stop making the Taurus, and so it's going to stop, I guess, next month or so. All right, so that's some good news for Chicago. Also in business news, Sears has been in the news because of the closings and the bankruptcy. Well, they got some good news on Thursday. A bankruptcy judge has decided to help them out. The Sears chairman, Eddie Lampert, made a bid. I think he wanted $5.2 billion, and it's going through this affiliate on his ESL hedge fund to save the store. So he got approval on that $5.2 billion. That means he's going to save some 425 Sears stores and 45,000 jobs. So I guess that's good news. Some people are a bit confused because they feel like this Lampert person is the person who kind of helped Sears go into bankruptcy, and now he's making this last ditch effort under his hedge fund to kind of save it. Either way, I know folks are happy that they're keeping their jobs, and some stores are still going to remain open. Now, they're saying that Sears was hit hard during the recession and was just not able to keep up with the changing trends of shopping that consumers were shifting to, particularly online and so forth and so on. So now they are at least going to avoid bankruptcy altogether and save those 45,000 jobs, everybody. That's good news. All right. And I think that is it. Oh, let's look at the stock market there. The stocks on the move. First, the Dow had a rough week, and are still kind of down a negative 63.20. The S&P 500 is up 183, and the Nasdaq is up 9.85. Stocks on the move. Well, Phillips 66 is up $1.78. Mattel is also up $2.87. Eli Lilly and Co. is up, as is Cody Inc. They're up $2.27. Eli Lilly is up $2.10. Those not doing so good is Goodyear. They're down $1.86. And the Arconic Inc., which is a maker of engineered products, they are down 58 cents. Hasbro Inc. is down. You know, those toy companies are suffering because of Toys R Us closing, another iconic brand, retailer that we lost just last year. Hasbro and some other toy companies are suffering, but Mattel, as I just read, is doing okay. All right. So that's it on our stock market report, everybody. And again, as I stated, it's a short show today, but we're going to get back on track and back on schedule soon. I've had some pitches to do some interviews with some very important people and well-known people. So we're going to get back on track to our scheduling and make some of those interviews happen. And of course, we will be out and about at different locations in the coming weeks as well. So be on the lookout for that. We don't have a cafe talk this week. Again, it's just been a pretty busy week for me, as well as a rough week. You know how sometimes we just have those rough weeks, and that has been the case with me. But all is well, all is good. Just keep me in your thoughts and your prayers as you move about your day. We do have people kind of milling around. I'm out in the mall doing the show live, so have somewhat of a audience taking a look at me talk to my camera. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's it. We'll do it again next Saturday. Before we go, I do want to remind you that I'm trying to jump on Twitter. Bear with me. I did not get to do the blog this week either, so I owe you a blog. Hopefully we'll get that done over the weekend. With my singing, I was not feeling well, and I just wanted to get some more practices in. So we'll be bringing back the karaoke moments before the end of this month. I think I promised you at least 2 for Black History Month. So I'm working on it. I'm practicing, everybody. I just didn't want to sound blah, but maybe I need to learn how to push past that, right? Because I think about some of the professional singers. I'm sure there are moments when they're not having a good day, a good week, a good month, but they still have to go out and perform in front of people. And so that's what I need to do when it comes to these karaoke moments that I'm going to presenting to you. I just did not feel like singing this week, although I did have a song in mind. So I'll get it up for you guys. All right. So I owe you a blog and I owe you a karaoke moment, and we'll make that happen before next Saturday. All right. All right. Well, I do want to remind you though that you can catch me on Twitter sometimes, Marilyn's Cafe Soch. You can also find me on Facebook, Marilyn's Cafe Society, and right here on YouTube, Marilyn's Cafe Society. And remember to check out the website, Marilyn's Cafe Society. Also, I got to tell you what love is. Love is keeping each other warm. So appropriate for the winter weather we're having here in the Midwest. All right. And so in the spirit of Soul Train for this week, I want to wish you lots of love, peace, and soul. And remember, if you don't do anything else, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. As always, folks, it's been a pleasure and a privilege. And we'll do it again next Saturday, right here on YouTube with Marilyn's Cafe Society. Peace.